Hello and welcome to Studio 415.
Current 7th graders are facing new requirements in order to graduate. We have the details.
You'll get to see how the season is going for the boys basketball team and show choir.
And we'll take you inside the pages of a new book published by a Carroll teacher.
All of that and more coming up next.
Welcome to Studio 415. I'm Michaela Shirey.
And I'm Mason Wren.
Current 7th grade students will be experiencing major changes going into their high school careers.
Many NACS families have been concerned with the upcoming graduation requirements for the class of 2023. Will Wiggy had the opportunity to speak with our superintendent about the state requirements.
Superintendent Chris Himsel is very passionate against these new graduation requirements.
I personally believe that this is one of the issues of the next generation of students. Graduation requirements are important. They do change and dictate how high schools provide opportunities for kids.
The new graduation requirements put in place by the Indiana State Board of Education may put many students at risk of not graduating.
And I believe that the current graduation requirements could have a very negative effect on opportunities for kids, particularly those interested in the fine arts and those who encounter situations that are beyond their control, such as medical issues.
These requirements are aimed at current 7th graders and the students who graduate after them because the State Board of Education needs time to work out the logistics of the new requirements.
It is common that whenever there is a new set of graduation requirements, they are done for kids that are currently in middle school so that the requirements are in place the day they sign up for their first high school class.
Most individuals will have a career in STEM. However, some students want to branch out into a fine arts career.
I believe that the new graduation pathways are likely to negatively impact the fine arts.
To graduate, each student will now be required to pass the SAT and have workplace experience, ultimately making it tougher to graduate. There are two sides that have been argued over these new requirements. One stating that it is preparing students for the real world, while the other states that it is adding residual stress and is too complicated. If you want to fight against it or support these new requirements, go to in.gov so you can find their email and Twitter. For Studio 415, I'm Will Wiggy.
You eagerly sit in your seat and wait for the show to begin. The curtains open and you are transported to the worlds of your favorite stories, told through a collection of beautiful visuals and breathtaking music.
This is the experience of the audience watching Carroll show choirs, Minstrel Magic, and Select Sound. Studio 415 reporter Olivia Haggard brings you more details on the choir's 2017-2018 season.
I had the chance to speak to a few students in the show choir and the director to see what really goes into creating 2 show choir shows.
Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold. You will remember me for centuries. Feel the terror, draw after nearer the more you stare in the mirror, but hold your own, face the wind.
The Carroll show choirs have worked hard since July to put together their shows for this year's competition season. Through the months of several practices a week, the choirs bring us Amelia, Select Sound's musical retelling of the story of Amelia Earhart, and Hansel and Gretel, Minstrel Magic's version of the old fairy tale. Jill Duran, the choir director, truly recognizes the amount of work it took to choose these themes and create shows around them.
So it's really, again, kind of a process to see what will work. We look at kind of the pacing of the show and what is going to tell the message, and then what is going to be entertaining to the audience or musically.
The students spend countless hours after and outside of school learning, practicing, and cleaning vocals and choreography. Some have to practice even more after earning solo spots in the shows. Select Sound has 2 soloists this year, Cora Stratton as Amelia Earhart and Mackenzie Huffman. Minstrel Magic has 5 soloists this year, including Isabel Copeland as the witch, Riley Cannon as the father, Lauren Pottenberg as the mother, Caitlin Poorman as Gretel, and Jason Wendt as Hansel.
So sometimes it is intimidating because there's always that changing factor, nothing's really set in stone. But on the other fact, it's like not really that intimidating because we get a lot more freedom to like express ourselves.
Carroll is home to 2 different show choirs. This provides some girls with the opportunity to be in both. Cora Stratton and several other girls go from soaring in planes to exploring a candy house with Hansel and Gretel every week to prepare for both shows. While the students are the ones on stage, it's not only them and their directors that make this possible. Many other groups of people help to make these shows come to life, such as parents, clinicians, and choreographers. The group even receives custom-arranged music for their songs. Show choir isn't just two separate groups. It's clear these students have grown past friendships and into a family.
My favorite part of show choir is probably the bus rides and the overnights, other than actually performing. If I had to pick one out of that, just because you're around so many people and you can just have a blast wherever you're at.
The show choir season will extend to early March. Until then, anyone can enjoy the shows in the large auditorium for free at their Thursday night previews. For Studio 415, I'm Olivia Haggard.
One teacher steps back and takes a look at the time that he has with his family at home.
He treasures this time so much that he wrote a book about it. Studio 415 reporter Sam Cologne gives us more on the story.
Jeremy McFarren, an art teacher at Carroll High School, wrote a book called The Keepers of Blue Time to share the times he had with his family. Wherever they go, they will always be together and safe. McFarren has been working hard since late September to draw and write his 32-page book. He got the idea to write the book from his kids after they got back from a vacation they took in the summer. McFarren realized how old his kids were getting, and he needed a way to cope with that.
I wrote the story as a way of saying, hey look, I have loved every aspect of your life, and I loved you as a little baby and as a little kid, and I'm so excited to see what you're going to be as a young adult.
In McFarren's book, the characters are seen doing different activities together as a family. The book takes its title from the phrase blue time, which is what McFarren and his family call the time right after dinner and before bedtime when the sun is setting and the sky is blue. They say blue time to get themselves into their routine and to feel safe. McFarren and his wife were approached in June of last year by First Presbyterian Gallery about doing an art show. McFarren stopped working on other projects and focused on writing his book for the show. His wife made artwork pieces to resemble the book and their family by using her skill in cyanotypes, which is a photographic printing process that produces cyan blue prints. McFarren's wife inspires him to be a better writer by helping him find his place.
She taught me how to set goals and how to meet those goals, and you know, how to reach for a goal that may be out of what you're used to, and really see it as something that you can achieve. And she still does that every day for me.
McFarren hopes that the readers of his book will gain the ability to see into his life and see the love that he has for his family. So then the readers can go back and reflect on the love and time that they have with their families. For Studio 415, I'm Sam Cologne.
The Carroll wrestling team captured its 6th straight regional title this weekend with a 104-92 victory over Garrett.
Senior Joel Arney won an individual regional title at 152, as well as Zane Standridge in the 120-pound weight class.
The Carroll girls basketball team claimed its 2nd straight sectional title with an 81-66 win over Northrop.
This victory avenged an earlier loss to Northrop back on November 17th. The Lady Chargers will face the South Side in regional semifinals this Saturday. And the Carroll ladies swim and dive team placed 2nd on the Fort Wayne sectional.
Swimmers advancing to the state finals are Mallory Jackson, Avery Brooks, Maya Vanderhagen, Tegan Moon, Veronica Lance, Grace Hanna, Gretchen Cross, Sam Horton, and Maddie Ritzert.
Carroll coach John Gibson was named Sectional Coach of the Year.
The Carroll High School's boys basketball team is off to a strong start with a record of 9-0 in the month of January.
Studio 415 reporter Garrett Ambergy has a scoop on how the boys basketball team is preparing for the postseason.
The Carroll boys basketball team is currently ranked top 20 in the state. As the season winds down and as they prepare for postseason play, the team has something much bigger in mind.
This year, we're just focusing on being united, staying together as a team. Obviously, I've built a lot of lifelong relationships through this program. I just think that it's helped all of us become better athletes and just better people all around.
The team's recent success hasn't led to a big ego, as they still focus on coming in and working hard each and every day to set an example for the future of the program.
I guess you could say you got younger guys looking up to me, and I just got to set an example every day and just work hard. I know at times I could have bad days, but just got to keep going, just have fun with it.
Coach Marty Beasley emphasizes the principles of being level-headed. Throughout the season, Beasley doesn't want the team to be too high at great moments, but also not too low at bad moments, especially as they inch closer to sectionals.
Right now, we're just kind of taking one game at a time, just be the best we can that game, get better every day. I mean, we're really not looking in the future or in the past, just stay in the present.
Putting up numbers on the wall has always been a staple for the past Carroll basketball teams. The boys are right in the mix to be SAC Conference champions, but that is only one of the internal goals that the boys have.
The boys have 5 regular season games left, including some big road tests. Visit North Central, Carmel, and Homestead. Be on the lookout for the boys as sectionals is just around the corner. For Studio 415, I'm Garrett Ambergy.
That's all we have today. Thanks for watching.
If you have any story ideas that you would like to see covered, mention them to any of the students in the credits or Mr. Johnson.
For all of us here at Studio 415, have a great week, Carroll.